I have a lot of things going on today. I almost did not make a video today, but I figured why not? I'm just going to be working in pruning a lot of things, keeping up just with the garden. Right now it's just a month of harvesting, of cutting the extras, of pruning, of trying to keep up with the weeds. We finally this week are getting a break from the really harsh temperatures here in Indiana. We were having days in the 90s, upper 90s, and I know that some of you are having way higher temperatures than that where you live, and I'm sorry for that for your gardens, but man, it was just, you know, like irrigating, watering everything, and just very hot. But I'm glad that we are getting a little break this week, just lower 80s, and I am ready. I'm ready to be out here. By the way, some of you that have no clue what these are and have seen my videos or pictures that I have posted on Instagram have been asking me, like, what's the deal with these things? What are they? I don't know if they have like a term per se, but these are just sleeves. They are made of fabric and they are really sturdy, and I have quite a few sets of this. There's a company that makes them, Farmers Defense. If you are on Instagram following other gardeners, you probably have seen them before. They're pretty much protection from the sun when you're outside, protection from, you know, when you are out trying to prune tomatoes or the cucumbers that I'm about to tackle. It just protects your arms from the foliage and all of that. And I don't really have a problem with, you know, like foliage, any type of foliage touching my skin. But I do notice that whenever I work on my cucumbers or my tomatoes, if I don't have any sleeves or any protection on my arms, on my skin, that, oh my goodness, the hummingbirds are like going crazy this morning. If I don't have any protection, that I get itchy. Later on in the day, I get itchy. I don't get any rashes or anything. It's just I get itchy. So having these sleeves stops that. So I like them. Anyway, before I lose any more daytime, before it gets really sunny where I'm going to be working, I am just going to show you what I'm doing. Today I'm just going to be pruning my area where the garden fund is, because I haven't done anything there. I just kind of let everything go. And I have some really tall weeds going. I'm just going to take you along, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing, and hopefully I don't bother the birds too much. This little quick fire hydrangea just put up some growth right here, about 3 branches, and they're way higher than the rest of them. And I just decided to prune all of the top because I don't really want just like 3 or 4 branches sticking up. Major weeds happening here. I think I am going to come here and put maybe like a stake here, like a small wooden stake, to help these Verbena bonariensis, because it's just with the rain that we got last week, with the storms that we got, I think this one just got pushed a little bit towards the front. And by the way, all the Verbena bonariensis in this bed came back on its own, so they're all volunteers here. Are looking good. You guys are looking amazing. If you guys remember, I have about 5 grow bags, black grow bags with some dahlias in them. And my idea was to have luscious, beautiful, colorful dahlias back there. And that's not really the case. I mean, the plants they're doing okay. There is one that is kind of dying on its own. These grow bags here are hooked to my irrigation. They get plenty of water. They're just getting sick. The plants are just getting sick with something, and honestly, I'm not really complaining. I hope that I can save the tubers at the end of the season, and it will be fine. This is definitely something that I didn't anticipate, but I am not surprised that it's happening. The area right here where they are, that's where my honeysuckle is, and my honeysuckle got sick with aphids, and I am not sure if aphids maybe tackle the dahlias as well, although I have been checking and I do not see any aphids activity there. However, being next to my boxwoods as well, my boxwoods are being targeted by spider mites this year. So maybe one thing or the other or both are not helping the growth of the dahlias in these grow bags right here. The rest of the dahlias in my raised beds and in other parts of my garden are doing amazing, but these dahlias right here are definitely the ones that are struggling, and like I said, I'm totally fine with it. I just hope that I can save 4 of the tubers here. One of the tubers did not come true to the dahlia that I was expected. That's the only one that I bought at Home Depot, unfortunately. That's the dahlia that I'm not going to be saving, but everything else here I just hope to be saving the tubers at the end of the season and, you know, call it a good year for these 4 dahlias here. You guys, one of my favorite perennials of all times is this rosin geranium. I love this plant. It doesn't really have a shape, so you can put it somewhere where it gets plenty of sun or as much sun as possible, and it will just spread throughout the openings that you give them. Like this guy right here, it is getting on top of my boxwood hedge. My boxwood hedge comes all the way here, but I have 2 geraniums here, and these 2 plants are just coming out and cascading on top of the boxwoods. I love that. I do have another cucumber plant. I guess it's coming from that side. And the vines, the 2 vines that are going up that trellis where my rose is, they look healthy, and they have actually a couple of very tiny cucumbers. So I'm going to let them be because they don't look as bad as the others. So I'm going to let them be. Hopefully I can get a couple cucumbers. One plant that I get asked a lot about whenever I post pictures on Instagram is this. This is a nasturtium. This is a variegated nasturtium. This one is dwarf Alaskan gold, and guys, these guys are amazing. I'm going to show you a close-up of the leaves. Not one leaf is the same, and I just love this variegated look. I think that it goes very well here. I do have 3 of these nasturtiums here, 3 of these variegated nasturtiums. I started them from seed indoors about 4 to 6 weeks, and then I also came here whenever I planted these. I also came and put some seeds of other nasturtiums here. I think this one is. I'm gonna check the name, but this one I grew last year, and I love the pink color of the bloom. So I have 2 kinds here of nasturtiums, and as you can tell, the ones that I started later, the ones that I started directly from seed here are smaller, but with nasturtiums, that's something that I do a lot. I start a bunch of plants indoors, and then I also direct sowed whenever I'm transplanting the ones that I started indoors. So isn't she gorgeous? These cucumber plants right behind me, the ones that are like looking dead, almost dead, have given me so many cucumbers throughout this short season for their short season. And I am very, very thankful. I planted these guys from seed. I put the seeds straight into this raised bed, and I have a cattle panel that I painted, spray painted black, if you're wondering. And they produce amazing. The plants just grew quickly. They started pushing a bunch of cucumbers. They are the long and skinny cucumbers. I love these cucumbers, but they are sick now. They got hit with something. The plants, the leaves just started wilting. I know it's just something that happens with cucumbers, because it happens to most of my cucumbers in my garden. So it is time for me to let them go and be thankful for what I got from them, instead of trying to, you know, save the plant and trying to figure out what was wrong with it. With zucchini and cucumbers, it's just the way that it goes here. And the way that I try to help my production of cucumbers and zucchini is that about a month or so after the plants have been already growing here, I start another succession of those plants, so that by the time that these guys are done, then I can start taking fruit from the other plants that have been growing. So sometimes I am really good at that. I gotta say, this is my 4th year in the garden, and it gets better and better. Succession planting is not something that I am really, really good at, but I try. So I do have at least 2 more cucumber plants that are producing now, and then I have more that are already planted. They're about like 5 inches tall. So it just happens in the garden. So I am going to get these guys out of here, because I do want to plant something else. I still have not decided what I'm going to do here. I might just load it with lettuce and you know, griffy leaves for the cool season that is coming. So these guys are already looking bad. Look at this guy. This guy looks all weird. It's just, you know, the plant is just trying to push everything that it can, and it's just, sometimes you just gotta let go. This plant is done as well. So before it gets really, really sunny here, I am going to tackle this project. I am basically just going to remove all of the plants. I am not going to dig them like I just did with this one. I'm just going to come here with my clippers, and I'm just going to cut at ground level, and then I'm going to get rid of all of this foliage. And hopefully the next update that I give you will be with whatever is growing here. More than likely lettuce, but still, who knows. Thank you for being here, you guys, and I will see you on the next time.